And that also relates here to the ideas that this is sometimes very difficult for faculty. If we look here on the left-hand side, we see that it used to be in the 20th century, faculty were authorized conduits for information. All the information either came from the faculty for the textbook, and the students were replicated from that process. And we want to move to a 21st century learning way, which is that faculty are coaches and co-learner. Information in textbooks, experience, online is all available to all of us. And so students and peers and faculty are co-learners. And this is quite different than model. And because of this is actually quite hard for faculty. We run up against questions, well then who am I as a faculty member if I'm not the expert in this field? And integrating content is actually nearly impossible for faculty who are so used to be independent in the classroom. And we can't just change the form of instructions, say adding a flipped classroom, but we must change underlying assumptions. And that is a difficult process. And that's where we actually need a community of like faculty for support. We've been meeting for many years, 3 or 4 years, to develop the capacity so that we all can change our underlying assumptions about education and about students. So where we are right now is we have 2 cohorts that have started. The first we started last year. They have just finished the halfway through point in their college career. And then we have a cohort that just began this year in January. You can also see there's like a light colored yellow underneath the 2013 because we actually have a control cohort that we're tracking. We plan on doing it in 2014, so I've listed that there, but you can see that we don't have a lot of data, and we're looking forward to actually analyzing the stuff that we do have. What we do have is we have reflections and interviews. We have things about the university measures like GPA, progress, and retention. We also have some interesting, so almost anecdotal information from a course valuing inventory, which looks at the value of the course from the student's perspective. We have in some sort of motivational surveys that we're still in the process of analyzing. The thing I want to just show you here is some data that we found from the course valuing inventory that we think is pretty great, pretty interesting. So if you look at the course valuing inventory, it's measuring 4 constructs. The first is the value of the course in the student's perspective. And the second is content learning, the learning of the particular content in the course. The third, personal learning here, is things like did I learn about myself? Did I learn about my feelings and my reactions to things? And then the last one is behavioral learning. Did I learn something about time management, about my study skills? So the yellow here indicates sustained students, and the gray indicates a control comparison group. It wasn't necessarily control, it was a comparison group. And this is actually for a physics class that we did this, because there were students who took physics in fall of 2011, and then there's students that took physics in winter of 2012, and we compared those groups of students to see what they thought. And as you can see that in course valuing, personal learning, and behavioral learning, the cohort, the 2012 sustained cohort, was higher in all of those. But it wasn't higher in content learning, at least their opinion of content learning. And that actually matches some other things we've done, like the force concept inventory for physics. The content learning was not better. And this is an important implication, actually, because if we plan on measuring innovative educational initiatives on only content learning, we won't see much of an improvement. It's actually about the same. But students learn a lot of other things, personal, behavior, and also they value the experience. So it's important to really look at that and really be careful about what are the things we're measuring when we're looking at these innovative activities. This here is the last slide I have, which is just a reflection, a simple reflection from students in a student this recently in Sustain Slow. I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you. Sustain will completely change your perspective on everything. Yes, everything is sort of vague and intangible, but Sustain lives in the realm of vague and intangible. It is the college experience that you envisioned when you came to Cal Poly, asking the big questions, making an honest effort to answer them, realizing that you never will, and discovering things you never knew about yourself in the process. Thank you for watching this presentation.